I talk with a lot of small business owners, and I consistently hear one thing. I haven't posted in a while. I haven't marketed my business in a while. I'm too busy serving my clients. So today we're going to talk about how AI can help you in marketing your business in a more effective way. So stay tuned to this episode of Hobby to Profitability. Welcome to the Hobby to Profitability podcast. We're all about figuring out what it really takes to build a successful and thriving business. I'm Jacqueline Green, marketing nerd, AI consultant, and entrepreneur who's been through it all. My goal is to help you get the strategies, the tools, and the mindset shift you need to grow your business without the stress and confusion. Every week, we'll dive into real, unfiltered side of entrepreneurship, the mindset shifts, the strategic moves, and the unexpected lessons that come with building a business. We'll talk about what actually works and what doesn't, how to navigate those changes and challenges that you face, and how to create a business that really fits into your life. If you're ready to turn your passion into profit without the overwhelm, you're in the right place. Hey there, welcome back to Hobby to Profitability. I'm Jacqueline Green, your host, and today we're kind of flipping the script on AI and talking through how AI can really help a small business. I speak to a lot of small business owners who aren't quite sure how AI can help them. I know most of them that I talk to are feeling very overwhelmed by all the things that they have to do. I think what we forget what we don't know when we start a business is there are so many hats that you have to wear as a small business owner. So how do you get to the point of, zero, the start, all the way to $1 million when maybe it's just you or you have a small team? And I truly believe that AI is changing how we're going to market our business and how we're going to do business in general. And so today we're going to really focus on what that looks like from a marketing standpoint. Now, I'm not just talking, you create content and chat. I'm talking about how do we go to the next step? Okay, I've created social content in chat. I've done this, I've done that in chat. But we're going, okay, what is that next step? And I think a lot of small business owners are kind of so overwhelmed with their own business and helping their clients that they're not thinking necessarily strategically in the AI space and really understanding how that can help you. So we're going to talk about that. Now, unfortunately, because we don't put such an emphasis on marketing as small business owners, it really can create a problem for scaling and growing our businesses. What happens often is that you might start marketing your business and you start building that prospect, your lead list, all those things, and you start building kind of a brand. And then often we get busy and we stop doing that. So we go all the way back down and then we serve all those clients and then all of a sudden we don't have clients in the pipeline. So then we ramp our marketing back up and then back down. And it's this whole cycle that's just not healthy for your business. The number one thing with marketing any business is consistency. If you're building a brand, you have to be consistent. You have to constantly be out there, constantly be talking to people. That's why people hire us behind the design, because they need that help. They can't necessarily keep that stable, consistent on their own because they are serving their clients, whether that's their designing or offering services or products. And so they hire our company to kind of help with that and staying consistent. There are also other ways. You might not be at that point where you want to hire somebody, but you want to take advantage of some of the AI tools out there. So let's look at that and look at how are we going to use your company. And some of these AI tools we use as well as part of how we serve our clients, and some of them we have not used yet. So I'll be very clear on which ones we've used or tried and how to use them, because there are so many tools out there. Just around the marketing space is phenomenal. This is where I live and breathe, and there's still new ones coming out all the time. There's always something to look at, and it's like, okay, how is that one different from this one? And what happens with this one over this one? So it can be really confusing. So if your business is not marketing, which many small business owners are not marketing geniuses and, don't get into marketing like a big nerd like me, then you might be like, okay, this is way overwhelming. So first, let's talk about, okay, how can AI help you if you're a small business owner and really help you operate on a bigger, larger scale? First of all, AI can really help you with the social media aspect of it. So social media is, it is just one of those things that, love it or hate it, you still got to use it. It's not my favorite. I can honestly tell you that. There are some platforms I love. There's some platforms I don't love. But the key to using any of the social platforms is that you have to be consistent on it. You have to show up. You have to engage. You have to talk to people and really respond to people's comments and, share with a community with more educational-minded content rather than just trying to sell constantly. There are a lot of AI tools out there to help with social media. The biggest thing is scheduling. How do you schedule your post at the most optimal time? Now, this is really quite interesting because there are quite a few of them. We use High Level, which is our CRM. It's all built together, but there are other tools as well. We used to use later.com, and if you listen to old videos of mine, I talk about later.com, but they were bought out by somebody else, and I don't know what happened to them. Anyway, so there are other tools. There's one that I thought was really interesting, which I've not tried yet, but it's Okoya. I have no idea how to say it, to be honest. Ocoya. So I looked into this one. And this one's doing something a little bit different than some of the other tools. It's actually taking it even further through the process. So it's taking your information, your content that you're wanting to put out there. It's designing and helping you actually design the content, then help you develop what your caption or post is going to read, what your hashtag is going to read, and so forth. And then it's finding that optimal time on different platforms to be able to post that content. Now, if you don't have a regular system on developing your content for social media, that might be a good option because it does help you. I did not dig into it deeply, but I'm assuming you can add your brand into it and really start developing kind of a look and feel if you're not at that point right now. Now, for us, we have a specific look and feel and don't need that because it's already built within our system. There are other ones, including Metacool and Buffer, are two other ones that I've heard of. But again, I haven't used those. We just use our High Level. If you use HubSpot, I know they have a scheduling tool within there. A lot of the CRM tools are starting to add the scheduling aspect of it. Now, there are other tools like lately.ai, not to be confused with later, that will actually help you repurpose your long form content. So that's like taking your blog post or even a podcast and really kind of breaking that into multiple social media posts so that you're not really starting from scratch. And I've talked about this a lot on our blog. When you develop one piece of content, you need to really look at that content and say, how can I reuse this same information across different platforms? So for instance, what we're talking about today, I've already written blog posts about, I've written newsletter articles about, I've shared this through a live event on LinkedIn. I use content across every channel. Everything I do, I try to see how I can chop that up and use it across everything. We use a tool called Opus, and Opus takes these podcasts and my video podcast and any videos I create and will chop up into shorts and reels. That has saved us a huge amount of time. So looking for tools that can actually work for you. So instead of having to edit and find those great clips, it does it automatically for us. And that has really saved us a lot of time. And so we really have to think about, when we talk about it related to social medias, how can you use your content and how can you have AI, cut that up, slice it up, and then send it out the way that you want it to, saving you a lot of time. The next thing is AI for email. And this is an interesting one. Just today, I had signed up for something completely unrelated to work, and I immediately got a personalized email from the company saying, hey, I see you signed up. We're going to get you in for a meeting. I requested a meeting. And, by the way, gave me a little, personalized story, and then said, hey, if you want this free gift, I'll send it to you. Just write back and say free gift. So I replied and said free gift. And sure enough, within a few minutes, another email came, like the conversation was continuing, and I got a free gift. This was awesome. That was all done with AI. There wasn't somebody back there typing this personal email to me. It was all set up so that it was easy for me to get what I needed. You can also do that with social media. There is ManyChat. ManyChat is great for, and you'll see this a lot in social posts or even in videos. Hey, get it with me on Instagram and put in chat in the comment section and I'll send you this tool. Things like that. Those are all automated automatically. So you can set systems up to help you where you don't have to go back and re-look at them. Another thing we use is Dripify. I've talked about this on the podcast. Dripify works with LinkedIn. And what I've done is I've created campaigns around how can I reach out to the people within my own circle, within my own connections that maybe I haven't connected with for a while. Maybe I just want to reach out and say, hey, is there anything I can help you with? Something as simple as that can help you reach more people, reconnect with people. So often on LinkedIn, on any of these social platforms, we build up followers, but we're really not connected to those followers. An AI tool can kind of help regenerate or start a conversation. Then you can jump in when that person is responding, has the time to respond. You're not necessarily doing it one-on-one, hands-on until it's time that it needs a human interaction. So this is a great way to really follow up, get your lead magnet out there, really connect with people in a way. So we want to look at AI as, a lead nurturer. How do I nurture this lead? And so by using AI in a strategic way, not just an assistant, but in a strategic way, it's going to free up time. It's going to be working when you're not working. This goes back to the simplicity of evergreen campaigns. If you're familiar with evergreen campaigns, this is taking it to the next step. In an evergreen campaign or email sequences, someone fills out a form on your website and they say, yeah, I'm interested in whatever your lead magnet is. You send them the lead magnet. Then you automate another email to go out a day later and say, hey, did you get that? I wanted to make sure you got that. What did you think? Did you have any questions? You're engaging that person. Then a couple days later, you automatically send another email. Hey, I'm going to just tell you a little bit more about our company. This is our company. Using AI is taking that email sequence to a whole nother level. And it's allowing you to do more, again, behind the scenes when you don't have to touch it so much. Let's be real. Random marketing tactics aren't going to grow your business. It's like throwing spaghetti at a wall, hoping the spaghetti will stick. If you're tired of spinning your wheels, or in this case, throwing spaghetti, then it's time to take a smarter approach. The Marketing Momentum Workshop is built for small business owners just like you, who need real results, not just more marketing noise. In one 4-hour session, we will work with you to pinpoint the best strategies and create a roadmap for your business that's going to help it grow. Take the first step. Book your free marketing health check now at behindthedesignco.com, and let's get your business moving in the right direction. So great. Now that we know that AI can handle that heavy lifting and doing some of the things that we let fall off of our plate that we don't get to. How many times have you said, oh, I really need to get on LinkedIn and I need to follow up with some of my connections? You can actually have some of this doing it for you. But AI is going to level that field for many of us small business owners. It's helping us get from a zero to $1 million a lot easier. Each one of these services, and you do have to be strategic on which ones you choose because, of course, everyone costs. But we're really looking at, okay, how can I be more strategic with my marketing, and how do I get that done without all the guilt and really focused on it all the time? And so the idea is that you're building this system, which large corporations and companies already have those systems in place. They have the people to build those systems. But as a small business owner, you don't necessarily have that, right? You are working hours to make sure that you're serving your clients. AI is going to help level that field a little bit. I truly believe that. And I believe that if you don't get on board with AI, you're going to get left behind. And that's going to be a real shame. You're going to be working harder than you need to be working, and you're going to burn out. That's just the facts of small businesses. And for those of us who are scaling our business and wanting to grow, but don't necessarily have the revenue yet to be able to hire, X number of new employees, full-time employees, these are good options. So how do we use AI so that we are being more personable and scaling at the same time? So one thing that larger companies are good about is really digging into their data and personalizing that experience. I worked for a major telecom company at one point. It was actually my last corporate job. And there was an entire data team, and their sole job was to analyze customers, prospects, big data sets, and do different crunching of those numbers and find lists that we can market to and sit there and market to them in a way that would speak to them. Now, as a small business, you don't need that big team to be crunching that data set, nor do you need a large data set. You can really use AI to personalize that customer experience, dig into a smaller data set that you have, and be able to use tools like ActiveCampaign for email automation or ManyChat that we talked about earlier, and really try to power that engagement and interaction with your customers, delivering what they need at that point. This is something that's completely new to small businesses in the sense that we didn't have access to all this. We didn't have access to the data. Yeah, we may be creating an email list. Yeah, we have followers, but we couldn't really pinpoint which followers or which users, which email subscribers are really going to purchase. That is one of the hardest things about marketing, is that I could build an email list. It's not real hard. You offer something and you build that email list. The problem is, are you bringing in the right people? Are you nurturing them into the point of purchase? And those are some really good questions that you're asking yourself. And so by using AI, we can have a more clear picture of where we want to take those prospects, where we want the channel and the funnel that we want to take them down in order for them to be buyers faster. And so it really can help us with personalizing that messaging and making sure that we have a high touch value on them without all the extra workload. So another thing is that predictive analysis that I just talked about for smarter decision making. Again, large companies could do this. They could do that advanced data science and they could look at things, but there's tons of tools now that are enabling a small business to really look and know who is buying, what are the things that you can say to them to move them down that pipeline, to know when to send them emails and when the highest engagement level is, and identifying that content that drives most traffic. This is all stuff that wasn't available to us. Just like search engine optimization, there are tools out there. The one that we started using is SEO Surfer. that can really analyze data and let us know, okay, you need to be writing about this, or these are the keywords that you should emphasize, or there are tools. So instead of having to hire somebody that is a full CEO, that's all they do, now we can use these other tools. AI is also allowing us to optimize and not stop wasting money on ads. And this is really important, especially when you're talking about Google ads or Facebook ads. Think about it this way. You have Netflix or one of the other subscriptions. It doesn't matter. You watch one show. You watch a show, a comedy show. Now all of a sudden it's giving you 10 other things to, hey, you might also be interested in this. So when we see that, that's a predictive analysis of what we might want to see. Using AI can also help with not only predicting that, but also with optimizing our ads. So when you do ads through Facebook, through Google, and there are other AI ad platforms you can actually use, you can automate, you can test ads, you can see what language is working better than other things. And so all this ensures that you are targeting the right audience, reducing that spend on the wrong audience, and really increasing your return on investments. That's really a powerful thing when you think about it, because your budget's really small. Spending money on ads is a really difficult thing, I think, for many small business owners, because there really isn't a return on investment per se. Measuring that and identifying it. If you're doing social ads, I can tell you from just we're currently working on one of our clients doing Facebook ads. And it is really hard to see, okay, you're getting 30,000 people reaches, which means 30,000 people are being shown that ad in a day. Based on their budget, they're getting about 30,000 people. And then you have, 130 of those, or I can't remember the exact numbers, that are actually engaging with the ad. That's a huge drop, right? Then from there, you get 10 clicks. If you can tighten all that up, which is what we do, we look at that and say, okay, what's really happening here? And making sure that we're going after the right data set of people that we want to reach, that we're saying the right things, that we're cleaning it up. We're going to maximize that amount so that we are reaching the right people. So it's really important. And that's what big businesses and big brands do. You're just doing it on a smaller scale with a smaller workforce. I can't tell you how much AI has helped us from a content standpoint. And I've talked about this before, when I first started using chat, or I started with Jasper AI as well, I thought, I'm cheating here. And sometimes they frustrate me, especially chat. I'll ask it for some questions and it'll give me very superficial answers. Or honestly, it has given me flat out wrong information at times. I'm like, that's not true at all. You are not analyzing that correct. And so I like using other tools as well. Perplexity is one that I absolutely love for research. But using all these tools and allowing us, just like Opus, I can take my content and I can divide it up and I can build more content on existing content and taking my knowledge into it. Even though AI is there to help with that, it still needs that human interaction. I still need to tell chat, hey, chat, that doesn't seem right. Those numbers aren't correct, or what you're saying isn't accurate. This is what I want to portray. It's really important that we interact with that and understand that AI is a tool to help us create more, repurpose our content, improve our brand visibility, but while also improving our own strategic ability, understanding how and what that content is doing and how we're reusing that content. There's a strategy behind that. And so we want to make sure that when we're using AI, that we're looking from a strategic standpoint. So we've talked about a lot here. What about, how does that impact our scaling from 0 to 1 million? That's what this podcast is all about, is how do we scale and how do we use AI as a partner? I look at it this way. This is my tips is 1, start with looking at your own systems and processes. What's hanging you up? Why are you not posting more on social media? What's holding you back? And look at, is there something that is a low value task right now that is really taking your time away? Like, for instance, maybe you're good about creating content, but then scheduling it and engaging and doing the follow-up, maybe those are things that you've really struggled with. Or you want to segment your email list, but you really don't know how to segment. And so you're looking at, okay, how do I do this? Or what about if you're trying to expand your audience and say, hey, this is the current type of client that I am currently serving. This is the right client I want. How do I get from point A to point B? These are things that we want to look at. So we want to look at how do we automate those low value tasks and get those out. We want to also leverage the AI for insights, just like how do I expand my market? What do, when we talk about a target market, if I'm going to this target market, how am I going to reach more of them? And then we're also going to optimize our marketing spend based on some of the AI decisions. Again, remember, AI is a tool to help you. It's a partner per se, but it's not always right. So always think with your gut as well and your own strategic mind. I think AI is driving us in a direction that in a lot of ways is going to help us do business in a lot better way. It's going to help us talk to the right clients, speak the right language to them, really encourage them to purchase. On the other hand, though, if we're not strategic about it, it's going to hurt our brand. And so even though AI is there, and even though you're using it, you still have to think strategically when we're talking about this. If you're talking email automation, what does that process look like? Yeah, AI can help you kind of build out that process, but think through your customer's journey. What are the things that you hear along that journey? What are your customers saying to you along that journey? Those are the really important aspects that you're going to have to know as you use AI so that you can serve a larger group. In this episode, I hope you got some ideas sparked. And I hope that you really got you thinking through, okay, how do I use AI so I can show up and be more consistent, so I can serve my audience better, so I can move prospects through my buying funnel, my marketing funnel, quicker, faster, easier. If you really found this helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on your platforms, your favorite social media platforms. Be sure to hit subscribe. That really helps us out. We're trying to get the word out about a hobby to profitability. And if you're serious about scaling your business, but maybe you're struggling right now where you're trying one thing and then another thing and nothing seems to be working, or you're feeling a little lost, book a marketing health check with me. It's 30 minutes. We go through what you're doing currently. The other option is the marketing momentum workshop. That's where we build out the strategy. We work together for 4 hours. We build out your strategy. We figure out what's going to work with your brand and identify where you need to go. A roadmap from a branding and marketing standpoint moving forward for the next year to 18 months. Now, next week, we're going to dive into how your childhood money mindset impacted your business growth. So this will explore some of the subconscious beliefs. I am absolutely baffled by how much things that happen in my childhood have impacted me as a business owner, not always in a positive way, but when I reached in and really understood how those things impacted me, it made a lot more sense on where I was getting hung up in my business. I know the two seem like they don't go together, but they actually do. So hopefully you'll tune in next time, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Hobby to Profitability podcast with Jacqueline Green. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a friend. You can learn more about Behind the Design at our website at behindthedesignco.com, and be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn or subscribe to the Behind the Design channel on YouTube for more great business growth strategies. Now, I'll see you next time.